So I watched the video and I was like, wow, I wish I made it.
Which one?
Because it's really, there's a video where there's like a special effects, and you can really feel, if you had the experience, you would really know that the video is really well made, because it takes you through this, like weird states. And then you explain how you come out of it, what are the benefits. So you're teaching primal embodiment. So what is primal power, and what happens if we are disconnected from it?
There's a human body, which is a vessel. And then within the vessel, there are different things that live inside of the vessel. So the way that we operate in society is that we're always just through the mind and through the mind construct of ourself, like the idea of ourself that we have, which is really linked with our mental identity. And then when you start coming in relationship with the body, and just by true feeling and receiving the sensations inside of the body, something else starts to become animated through the body, and you realize that it's the spirit of the body, which belongs to the earth and which also is linked with your lineage. So it's really something that is from the earth realm, if you can say, and then this is very kind of like animalistic, really linked with nature and the primal identity that is not molded to fit into society, that is just like, it's just really raw, and there's no pretense, there's no it's like an animal. And then there's also like the soul, which is linked with consciousness. And so there's all these, there's in my experience, there's the three things that like overlap each other, and sometimes we go from one to the next, and then we're kind of moving. And so that would be what primal primal energy is.
What are the benefits of reconnecting to it? It looks like if you reconnect to it, you may be actually in trouble.
Yes and no. You can be in trouble in the sense that it's just energy that is looking at bringing back balance. So when you're in your place, and when you're doing things and you're in your place, things just come in order, So when you become in trouble is when the energy starts emerging and you don't know how to channel it properly. So for example, let's say you have not addressed your anger for like your whole life, and you've just been pretending to be something that you're not, and then like your deep voice has never been expressed. There's a lot of anger living inside of you because you've just been compromising yourself your whole life. And then the moment that you start speaking your truth, maybe it will come out with a lot of anger. And then you're going to be really aggressive in your deliverance. Let's say somebody has been, doing you wrong for a very period of time, and then suddenly you start having the balls or the courage to actually express what lives inside of you. You may be like very angry, but then more you learn how to channel this primal energy, and this inner primal knowing, consciousness is also at play. So there's a part of us that is animal, but there's also a part that is consciousness. And so you start to learn how to channel whatever is primal in a very aligned way. So then there's temperance that comes in when consciousness is there.
So it's all about being comfortable with those energies, and
yes, it's learning how to tame and how to receive those energies, and to just create a temperance. And when you're in the emotional storm, learning how to be in the center of the storm. And when you're a child, let's say you have you have emotions coming up, you don't know so much how to deal with your emotions. So it's basically really linked also with how to manage your own emotions, which is also linked with the ego. It's like there's the ego that is there, and then there's like all these confrontations that can be linked with the mind. So to really just have like a bird's eye view onto yourself as you're going through this, and then as you start learning how to express things, eventually there's a calm that comes, because more you express what lives inside of you, and more you learn how to relax when you're speaking with someone. And you're not so much triggered by the ego of like the defense mechanisms and the trying to blame, and you just kind of like just relax and look at the scene and just explain from like a more tempered place. So this is the game, like to learn how to come at it from
so relaxing is the key.
Yes, relaxation is always the key.
And for somebody who just come in for the practice, what is it practically and simply happening through the practice in their body, biomechanically? What we are trying to achieve, what will help that relaxation?
So what happens when you ground yourself, when you lay your body on the ground and in whatever posture it is, and it's like through the practice you learn how to just be present with the energies that are inside of you. So the practice itself is just creating a container, a structure, and then you start resting in that container. And now whatever needs to be addressed in the moment, or whatever that is out of balance, starts steering and coming up to the surface in order to be addressed. And so often it's like, mostly for somebody who's never done this before, at first there's like all these mechanisms that are keeping you kind of like locked out. So you're not feeling so much because there's so much that needs to be addressed. So at first it's really just about learning how to ride the intensity of the pain and then the sensations that you are receiving. It's like there's so much that can come at you, and you're like a child who's never learned how to manage all this intensity and all this. So there's so much in the way in the mind. Like there's, let's say you're in a posture and then it starts becoming really intense. There's all these fears that are there. The person's going to be really scared to look at it. Like I was saying earlier, pain is a signal, and people, when there's pain, the person, when you come in relationship with pain, everybody just wants to run away, and they just don't know how to start communicating with that pain from a relaxed state. It's all of the mental, the way that the mind is all your state of minds that come when discomfort comes. It confronts you with this. And at the same time, it confronts you on how you ride life. Not just through the posture, but just in general. Like life is always coming at you with all sorts of pressure, with all sorts of things to do. And I think that a lot of, as we seek peace, we also seek to kind of like, there's a part of us that does not want to engage so much in so much like chaos and intensity. And so when life gets rough, we sort of try to find comfort or anything that is like easy. And so it's about just restructuring your way of thinking and your state of mind through relaxation within this intensity inside of the body, and so without at the same time. And so learning how to, whatever comes at you, whether it's inner or outer, to be just in a state of like receptivity and malleability. So you're not like, bulking up or defending yourself or evacuating or just going into your ideas, and you're just really fully present to welcome the sensation or whatever experience is coming at you in a very relaxed state. So your potential of reaction can be very aligned and very like, it's like you're all there. You're all there, and you're capable of moving in the most efficient way through whatever comes. So it's becoming a master of this inwardly, with all of the intensity that we go through in everyday life, through situations, emotions, everything, and by extension, how you're managing your own life in the everyday, things that are coming up.
Sounds like Neo to me.
Like what?
Like Neo or Neo?
Oh, Neo, yes. It's very... Yes. Yeah.
So if you would just sum up, can it really change life? Starting to listen to your body and starting to serve those energies, being capable of staying in this center, in your center. Can it change somebody's life? Will it affect that you will put your life in order?
Absolutely.
How that process happens, and what did you observe in your students and in yourself?
Yeah. So it completely changes your life. It forges you. It forges you, it makes you better, it makes you more efficient, it makes you more precise. It allows you to take responsibility, to live your life to its full potential, to like not just live in a dream of what your life could be, but to really just create such a craft of your own life, and that whatever that is living deep inside of you can come to life through you. Also,
like the integrity, the word integrity came to me at some point when you were talking about all these different energies, and that we lie to ourselves, and that's why we have these energies are not addressed. And as we feel them, then we are capable to address them and see, okay, this is how it feels, I need to change my behavior.
It's
that's Kim.
It's like, basically the feeling just does not lie. Whenever that there's something that is out of alignment in our life and that needs to be addressed, you will feel it inside. So it's like the moment that you stop looking away by being in your mind and in your ideas, and you come back to the body and you come back to the sensations, it really brings you back to now. It really brings you back to the most pressing thing that needs to be addressed. And what I find through time is that whatever needs to be addressed in my outer reality is directly linked with what is calling at me in my own body. So let's say I have a nagging pain somewhere, and that I just, what I do and what most people in general don't do, they'll just try to numb the pain, they'll be annoyed with the pain or whatever. The moment that I put my attention on that pain, there's all this residue. It's like c'est comme un fil d'or. It's kind of like a something that starts with, let's say, a sensation. I penetrate it, there's an opening in the body, and then there's going to be information that comes to my awareness through me addressing the pain. So the pain is not just something that is, from the body, like, oh, I hurt my shoulder or something. It's really so much deeper. So the moment that I come in relationship with the pain, let's say in my shoulder, then the pain in my shoulder, I feel it. It's linked, let's say, with my liver. And then as I penetrate that pain, then there's emotions bubbling up. And then I realize, oh, I was having all this anger towards my mother that I never addressed. And it was just pinching at me inside. And it was making that my relationship with my mother could not be me and her seeing eye to eye, because I had all this resentment that I would not look at. So whenever I would come in a relationship with her, I was not really being true, because deep down I felt resentment, but I did not want to admit it. So I cannot have like a fluctuating relationship with her. I could not really see her. There was always this in the way. And so in the same way for anything else in your life, the moment that you start clearing, the body is really just an indicator of what is out of balance in your life. And so the moment that you start just working with that, everything comes into place in your life. Like everything is just magically just fixing itself, and automatically you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Like there's no more questioning, there's no more, it's just everything just becomes so clear. You're just always doing the right thing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's my experience also. What would you say to somebody who feel that, that they're really limited, that they have all the kids, they have no time, they're in that work, they have really little time to practice, but they still, they still want to practice, but they feel they can't come out of their situation, they don't have money, they don't have time, they don't like their job. Shall they start it, or is it better just to not go into it?
No, you have to start. To me, this is basic. This is basic life hygiene. Like if you don't have that, you're not really living your life. And deep down, your soul is miserable. Like deep down, you're denying yourself of your full human experience. It should be number one. So if you don't have time, find something that you should cut off and start feeling yourself. And it could be only like 15 minutes a day. You know, when you wake up in the morning, before you go on with your day, you just sit by the side of your bed, and you just, you know, with your eyes closed, sitting down with your 2 feet on the ground, grounded. You let your arms loose, and you just close your eyes, and you just allow yourself to drop in, and all the tissues to just like rest, and to kind of like, you've been sleeping, you've been going through so much while you're sleeping, your subconscious has been active, all of these things been moving in your body. And then the first thing in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm back, my consciousness is back, I'm incarnated in this vehicle, let me come into my bodysuit, let me just, you know, come back into the sensation of myself, like I'm here. And then from that moment, you start feeling things. You're not like in the wheel of your mind. And from that place, your whole day just goes so much better. It's not like you're being pulled left and right with no direction, and just like, you know, like, okay, and you don't need your mind so much to structure things. You're kind of like, there's another agenda that unravels through being kind of like in a river, like in a flow, like we say, you know, being in the flow. It means it's just like, you need to be in connection with the sensations, and you need to be fully embodied and sitting inside of yourself. So if this is lacking from your life, you're off track. Like, you're literally off track. And so, you don't need to, and my other trick is that you don't need to necessarily sit and be not moving. It could be just like as you're walking. Like as you're walking, notice where your attention is. It's like, I'm just walking to work. I have like 10 minutes of walk to do, let's say, for example, right? So those 10 minutes, where is my attention? Bring the attention to the body. As you're just moving, put your attention on your feet, on your legs, feel yourself, and then just drop and just relax the body. It always comes back to this. It's like, come back to the body, sense the body, relax, and see where there's a blockage, see where there's something that is, where there's a pain, or where there's something that is blocked. Bring your attention there, and then relax into it. You know, this is the core of the whole practice, but this is the core of everything else. As I'm saying this about the body, it could be this about a situation also. You have a problem with someone and you don't know how to solve it. Just stop for a minute and close your eyes and relax and see into the situation. Don't try to solve the situation with your mind. Just relax, watch it, and relax. And as you just relax and you look at the situation, suddenly things start moving and you start receiving information. You're not creating a solution with your mind, which the mind is really good at creating solutions. It's like, okay, I'm not going to try to do anything. And then suddenly you receive, because you start connecting with your soul wisdom, or with a higher wisdom that can circulate through you and make you see beyond the limited thing of your mind. I'm not saying the mind is bad. It can also be into the process, and it's always in the process. It's in at some point, because, you know, it's always there, but just,
yeah, I see the picture. Would you then say that your favorite part of the body to talk to have a dialogue with, is the part which is blocked?
It's the part that is calling on my attention.
You don't have any other favorite part, like, you know, like some people like to focus on the womb, on the pelvis, because it's the base for the spine. Some people likes to focus on the head, you know, because it's like a Ajna chakra.
No, I don't. I focus on what is alive in the moment, which always changes. I'm not the one who decides. And so there's a deep surrender into the flow when you do this. It's not like, oh, I need to. No. Listen, always listen. In deep silence, what needs to be, and this is the intelligence, the primal intelligence that I was speaking of in the beginning. It's like, if you're going about it with your mind, you're off track. You need to just be a witness to this intelligence. So you need to sit and relax and see what calls on your attention, because there's something inside of you that is very intelligent. And so, okay, and then maybe it's going to be my uterus today, but maybe not. And sometimes I will be surprised by what comes up. You just have to be really open and trust into what shows up. So what is alive?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I don't like schedule. I like to work with what presents itself.
Yes.
And now is a fun question. Imagine it's your island. Everything there is like you want, your life. Tell me, what do you see? What will be happening there? What kind of people are there? Are there people or just you're alone?
So you're saying, let's say I have an island and it can be whatever that I want it to be?
Yeah.
Love your question. Okay, so I will close my eyes to bring you in this vision. So I am seeing, I'm seeing first, the first thing that I'm seeing is nature. There needs to be nature. And the most amazing place would be where every single individual that is present is sovereign, in the sense that there is nobody that is the leader. Everybody is being led by this inner connectivity. So nobody is above anybody else, and everybody has their own gifts, and everybody kind of come together and play together, and this inner connectivity does that you are also connected outwardly. The children are brought up not in one mold of indoctrination where everybody is learning all the same things, but as soon as the child starts growing, there would be like private people, private coaching or private, to really feel into that kid and who he is and what's his place and what is alive inside of this kid. Why did you come here? What is your craft? And right away to take the craft of that kid and put him in a place where you will be able to develop that craft, and to really realize that the diversity of humans, everybody needs, and their own particular bringing up. And I think that also allowing this, but also connecting more with spirit. Like everybody would be connected with spirit. Everybody would be connected to the moment that you are in the flow and relation with the sensations, you're becoming in relationship with the subtle, and the subtle is always there guiding us into this play of mystery, right? So that would be the world that I envision, something in complete balance with nature and with the unique blueprint of every single human that comes in.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.